We'll wait for a couple more people to here in 1 minute. Welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies back at it again. It is Crypto Nova with another International Sunday where we have friends from all over the globe joining us. And I know it's nice and early here in Chicago at 9 a.m. It's probably 7 o'clock. Well, it is 7 o'clock on the West Coast. But over in Turkey, I didn't want to have my friends staying up way too late because usually I stream 12 hours from now. But I don't want to have them up at, 4 or 5 in the morning. So we're back at it again. And, we have NFT photography, which is just a highlight within the NFT space. And one of those highlights that are coming out weekly, I'm telling you right now, is we have Gregory Eddie Jones right here, Eddie Jones NFT. And we've talked with him many a times because he's keeping me in the loop with PhotoVerso right here. How are we doing again? Back at it again. I think we're going to do this bi-weekly because I just love getting out into that NFT community, getting all these people from all around the world and these photographers back in the mix. So how are we doing? Back at it again.
Doing good, Novo. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you know what? I want to have you highlight two photographers because I can't get out into the space as much as I would. First, talk about a little bit about your platform and, what you're trying to accomplish in the space of, PhotoVerso and what you're trying to do to get these artists seen in this NFT world.
Yeah, so PhotoVerso is a weekly newsletter that I put out. I publish it every Saturday. And basically, I give a rundown of all the big news in the NFT photography world. So I track all the new drops from curated platforms, and I look at what the DAOs are collecting for their photo collections. I highlight new artist drops. And I do a photographer of the week. So each week is an interview with a different photographer about their practice, which I then do a Spaces chat with them. It's all a way to just kind of boil down everything that people need to know about the NFT photo world. I think that it's grown so quickly that it's hard to keep track. It's really difficult to just have to go through every Discord channel, follow everyone on Twitter just to get a sense of like what's going on. And so I do that for you to kind of summarize it all in one weekly email.
Not only do you do it for everyone, you do personally for me because I can't keep up in this space. And that's what it is aggregating that information. You can see right there, the banner of the week, he has the highlighted artist. That particular artist is not on today, but I want to talk about one of the artists that you did bring on. And one of those things is it is a global thing. And I try to shoot at 9 o'clock at night, but I want to, keep in mind other people and other time frames. So we do have someone from another time frame here. We want to lead in with Ava here and a little bit about her and how you came across her wonderful photography in the NFT space.
Yeah, I came across Akuchi's work probably in September. I think that's when we first connected, and we had a Zoom call and just talked about each other's plans for the space and what we were working on. And she introduced me to this project called Behold the Ocean, which I was completely blown away by. As far as I know, it's the very first generative photography project. And I mean, first of all, the imagery is beautiful, but it's also a really unique model where it serves as a fundraiser for climate research. And Akuchi, you could talk much better about the project than I could, but.
Ava, how we come on? You use Ava as your internet name here, as your Twitch name.
Look, I don't want to exclude people from being able to talk to me, so I just try to make it as easy as possible for them. and gave them my initials, which is just Ava. So if you plan to forget about me, just remember the name Ava. Otherwise, it would be Akosia in my passport. But whatever you're comfortable with.
Your photography will never be forgotten. Whatever you go by will never be forgotten. But what we want to do is talk about what you've created here, because I love this. Behold the Oceans, the first NFT project to enable climate change relevant to research through art and community in Web 3.0. I love it. How about a little maybe foundation of where you started to get to this point?
Right. Actually, like first disclaimer, I don't know why I'm nervous every time I'm joining a new platform. but hi to Russell, Omar, and Alina, who are listening from Twitter Spaces. That's where I feel at home. So yeah, my name is Akosia Victoria Adusanya, or AvaSilvery online, and I am a visual artist and documentary photographer based here in Switzerland. And Behold the Ocean really started last year as a personal project before I even knew about Web3 or what NFTs were. I just prepared like some slides so we can actually look at something. Additionally, let me share my screen. For the people in Twitter Spaces, like my friends from Desire Path DAO, don't be like confused. This is being streamed live, so people have to like bear with my face. Additionally to my voice.
You can go on Crypto Novo 311, and this Spaces is actually live action video. Yes, video. You heard it right here. So we can behold the oceans, live action photography in the in the medium it should be presented as a visual medium. Right. But we're going to also get the audio side of it as well. So yeah, we got her slides pulled up right here. A little deck. I love it.
Right. So just a little bit about the project. Behold the Ocean is a visual storytelling project about the effects of climate change on the marine ecosystem in the southernmost of Patagonia. And it's a visual storytelling project because I shot both a documentary film and a body of work of photography, both documentary, editorial, and also artistic/conceptual, with the main goal actually to produce a show and a photography book, which are two things that I'm currently working on, and also to distribute the body of work in an editorial way. And then I discovered NFTs, but I will come to this in like 2 minutes from now. But first of all, why all of this is important in the first place, like southernmost of Patagonia, is a comparably remote region compared to where we are tuning in from. But still, even though it's so far away from all the huge industrialized places and countries, we can see the effects of climate change in these regions very drastically already, because there are more extreme meteorological circumstances there. And the reason why it affects everyone and not just the local communities there is because the ocean is literally the largest organism of our planet. So 70% of the Earth are covered by water. And in relationship to climate change, a giant phenomenon and problem that is occurring is ocean acidification, which means that the glaciers are melting at an accelerating rate. And through this, the pH level of the ocean gets into a disequilibrium, which leads to toxic phytoplankton species building, which completely disrupts the entire marine ecosystem and everything that's going to happen there in the next few years from now. And what I'm doing with the project is I am basically preserving nature and the drastically changing environment that is vanishing before our eyes through Web3 and the perma-web. So in terms of the structure of the project, I have two different drops that can both be collected or looked at, whatever you prefer. And the first drop is a generative photography project that also integrates real raw oceanographic data that we retrieved from the ocean, the Estrecho de Magallanes, last year, where I produced the project. And so there are over 4,000 photography NFTs with rarity traits that you can mint at mintbeholdtheocean.xyz. And it's a mix of photography and highly manipulated photography, I shall say, and individual color layers that all have different names and rarities. And oceanographic data patterns from like real CO2 and salinity and pH levels from the ocean as a mapping of the current state of the ocean or rather 1 year ago. So that's the first job. And the second one is a one-on-one photography collection. When you go to beholdtheocean.com, you will find your way to the collection, which is currently just aggregated on OpenSea, but it's minted on my own ERC 721 from Manifold and stored on Airweave. And there are currently 27 pieces that really flag, on one hand, document how climate research, specifically oceanography, is being carried out in the southernmost of Patagonia by an underfunded country like Chile. And that gives you an insight into how I'm currently building my show and my photography book. And in the descriptions of the individual NFTs, you can read interview excerpts with Marco Pinto and Maximiliano Vergara, who are the two young scientists that I accompanied. And as opposed to, usual science communication, in these interviews, you can really read uncensored doubts and challenges that the scientists have to deal with, which is a new form of science communication. And now to conclude my my contribution to today.
Including your contribution to society, to the earth, and making a better well-being for everyone. So, what you're doing is extremely important. And I love how you just said how you're bridging science through this collective medium of photography. And I love it, using that medium to help guide the science and the math behind this.
Right. So that's the first dynamic or direction, right? I'm going to a scientific environment in order to produce and communicate the status of climate research. But now the plot twist of the NFT project itself is I am bootstrapping a completely non-institutional scientific expedition to Cape Horn with the sales of my NFTs. So art funds science in that way. And what we're going to do is through my NFT sales, I'm at around 20% right now of my ideal goal for the expedition, which will cost me around $150,000 US, but I can also decrease the budget in order just to make the case. And what we're doing is we're going basically as an interdisciplinary Web3 enabled art and science team from Punta Arenas to Cape Horn in order to collect, non-politically collect environmental data and assess the region. And once we come back, we will mint all of the scientific data that is relevant and crucial for international climate research onto the blockchain and make it accessible for everyone in the world to use for free instead of keeping it behind institutional paywalls. And that's...
I'll stop you there for 1 second. I have uncle who is one of the leading blood hematologists in the world, and they are now minting their research online so people can use it and share it. Exactly what you're saying. Why have it in a document stuck in a vault within a university when it could be put on chain that other people can use and use for research? I love it. And that's what Web 3.0 is bringing to people. It is that connection. And it's not only the connection like we're doing streaming right here, it's the connection in the advancements in science, technology, and mathematics, all based around computer algorithms. And that's awesome that you're using this to the fullest capacity of what it's meant to be. That's what blockchain is sharing that information in hordes with people.
Right, it's sharing, but it's also like significantly accelerating. And in my opinion, it's also, empowering the global society in order to actually contribute to tangible action as opposed to just, protesting or pointing the finger at individual behaviors. So that's the thing that excites me the most about the project.
Right here in depth, you can go, and this is at the bottom of Mint. Behold the ocean.xyz. At the bottom is just simple connect to her Twitter handle, and then also the main project website right there. Definitely make sure you're scrolling through this and taking a look. Obviously, you can hit up the wallet up there in the top right-hand corner. One thing you alluded to in the beginning is, you can buy it or you can just look at it and enjoy it as well.
Right.
These NFT projects, you don't need to buy everything. There's a purpose behind it. Look at it, share it, enjoy it if you can't afford it, because it's a purpose behind it as well. People might enjoy the art of it. They might enjoy the story behind it. They might enjoy the purpose behind it. It's multi-layered. And that's what we're trying to accomplish in this space, is getting that multi-layered steps going to the people who are looking for it. And this is very educational based and minded for the greater cause of creating a better world in humanity. we do live on Earth. This is one big organism. We're happy to be part on this organism. We have to take care of it. Ava, anything else for the good of the order? Anything else you want to speak about or talk about?
I think, maybe one practical thing, in case you are in Europe or want to come, I'm going to be speaking and presenting Behold the Ocean live at the Non-Fungible Conference in Lisbon from the 4th to the 5th of April. So if you happen to be there, I think it's going to be one of the largest NFT related summits this year. Then I would like die to meet anyone in person, to be honest, but like I would still love to meet you. And so if you want to come through, just come through. And I'm also going to be speaking at the conference in New York City in June, but that's a little bit longer.
Well, you'll be seeing me in June for sure. Let's get you back on and talk about this before the European meetup in April, so we can maybe get some more traction there, more people there. Awesome. I love this type of work. I do have some friends in the European zone that we can maybe get on to join the show. Ava, thank you very much for what you're doing in this space. I know I tried to get you online, I don't know, months ago, yes. And it circles back around. All right, we're all pulling on the rope. We'll pull in the same direction here. I appreciate it very much. If you got to take off and you want to enjoy the rest of this weekend, thank you for what you're doing. I'm going to bring one of my good hosts back on again to have another artist come on. Who do we got here next?
So the next artist is StephanieVance, who like Acusia, has created a very Web3 specific kind of photo project. She also happens to be my wife. So I'm very happy to have her on and for her to be able to share her project with everybody.
And you should be proud of that, keeping it all in the family with echotombs.xyz. She's probably in the other room from you, so you guys aren't having interference with the sound, but her camera's off, but we can hear you loud and clear. Stephanie, how are we doing?
I am here. I did get my camera to work on a different, on Safari, but I can't get into the room, so we'll just go with it.
You want to log off and then log back on Safari and try that?
I can if that works for you. If you guys have some fill.
Sure. I'm gonna log. Let's see. I might not have enough room here. I'm gonna try to log that one off. See if she can maybe get on there in a different screen if possible. How many people do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We might have a full house. I don't know if she'll be able to get on there. Give it a try. And what do you
I think you got me.
There we go. I love we can talk through these things.
Hi, sorry about that. The connection. Sorry, I figured it out.
There's nothing to be sorry about. That took all of 10 seconds, and I could survive for 10 seconds in this world just to get a better view of what we're looking at. And that's the Echo Tombs right here. Walk us through, run us through. Tell us what it's all about.
Okay, so Echo Tombs is my Genesis drop, and it is a photographic NFT project, but it also, I think, falls under the concept of really being foremost in the NFT space because it's using the technology of the blockchain to combine audio elements and video elements, and photo elements. The objects are made by laying objects on, or the photographs are made by laying objects on photo paper, and then they're exposed directly to sunlight. They're not actually made in the darkroom. And in order to have them be able to be seen, because photo light sensitive products have to either be fixed or they have to be, or they disappear. These objects are never fixed. So in order to get them to have a life inside of or outside of the kind of box that I was keeping them in was to scan them into the computer and then put them on the blockchain. But the act of scanning the image actually destroys the image. So it's almost like they were, somebody on a Twitter space a couple nights ago said that it's like they were sacrificed in order to live their second life.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's almost like a physical burn in a sense, where it is changing its appearance, or when you do scan it, it does change the imagery on it.
Yeah, once you scan the picture, because the picture is so light sensitive, it actually does the bar of light passes in front of it and kind of destroys it as it scans. And every time you scan it degrades more and more. So they don't exist in reality anymore. They only have this life on the blockchain. And then each image has a memory that's associated with it. And then the audio recording can be listened to on the website. You can actually click each audio and listen to the kind of memory that's associated with the object. So, I mean, the name kind of speaks for itself, like echo, echo is a playback. And because these are photograms, they're a direct, it's a one-to-one. So you take the paper, you lay the object down, and the shadow is created directly, but it's a distorted shadow, just like an echo coming back at you. And then the tomb, we've given these memories a place to live in memory, in the way that you would go and visit, your loved ones in a tomb. You can visit these kind of memories. They've been encapsulated, and they're to live on in their next life.
Like this one, like right here, and I have no idea the context behind it, but my old little curls, like, for me, it's just like maybe a picture of just having that first haircut and the hair just like saved. My daughter hasn't even had a haircut. She's been 3. We're still kind of saving to get her first haircut, but then being able to save it, like you're saying, it's entombed in there forever in the history of the blockchain. And then you have an audio component as well. So then
I always used to cut my own hair. I stopped because I wasn't very good at it. I thought that I was, but I really wasn't. But I used to save it. And when I was in grad school, I would cut it every time. I would put henna on it. So I'd put the henna on it. And when I was done, I would cut it. And then I would save that piece. And so then I had a small clear box full of my curls that were different colors. When I was little, my mom used to do the same thing. She used to save my little curls when I got my hair cut. So she has her own box of small little blonde curls. I don't actually have this hair anymore. I don't know what I did with it. I think I might have thrown it away. So this image is all that's left of my hair when I was that old, doing those things, living that life.
But the thing of it is the original image is no longer alive because it got, I'm totally butchering this from a photography standpoint. My largest, furthest I've gotten my photography realm was high school photography. So you're able to pretty much burn it because you develop these outside of a green room. So after certain light exposure, then they're just no longer feasible. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So they don't actually exist anymore. Their only existence is on the blockchain.
Well, I'm proud of myself for at least knowing something about something. And I love just learning from what you guys are creating right here. And this is a perfect example, like the people on this panel that have, years of photography experience and journalistic experience and how you can take it to the next level. And you can actually talk about your NFTs and relates to you. I didn't know any, Stephanie, I didn't know any context before this. And I just saw what maybe in our culture where we do save the locks of your first haircut, and then sometimes translation when you're moving houses or, mom and dad pass away or whatever, you start losing those things and you have photos of that. But then sometimes those photos can't make it either. So how does it live forever? We all know it on this station, that blockchain, baby. You got it right. I love this is awesome. I kind of got goosebumps listening to that story right there because it is something that I'm trying to do and accomplish with my own children is saving and archiving this. And unfortunately in Web 2.0, everyone has access to that. So like people can take your images, even the ones that you think are safe on your phone, and they can access that. And now there's this AI technology where they're actually making you talk when you don't want to talk. But now you can save it on blockchain. So it is there for who you want to show it with, who you want to show it to as well. Stephanie, what's the best way to get these things into people's pockets or if people just want to take a look at them, what's the route of going about getting a hold of these besides echotombs.xyz?
They are all available on OpenSea. The collection has been minted on OpenSea. A couple of them are already gone, so you're too late, but there are still some available. And you can access that directly through OpenSea, or you can travel through the website. You can check out the online exhibition. You can wander through and look at all of the art and kind of experience the sound. Some of the pieces have sound, so it's almost like you're wandering through my life. In a way, you get these weird sound snippets that are not in linear order, which is kind of a fun experience. It's you wander through the mist and discover my mind in a way. And yeah, that's pretty much the project. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to pull up the virtual exhibition really quickly just to show?
Yeah, where's it at?
I can.
Let me send you a link to it. No,
Yeah, just drop it in the private chat right here.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're right there. We got the virtual room right here, Echo Tombs right here, and then we can walk through it very similar to what we have with, on Cyber, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep, you just click anywhere in that black space, and then you're on the journey.
Sorry, I'm multitasking. I need two hands to drive here, so if my sound is a little bit off. So here it is. Yeah, we got the room right here. We can get in on the walls. Oh, and it actually starts talking to you once you start getting closer.
I thought it was the best thing ever. We walked up and down the street, making it click and clack back and forth.
So you might hear
around, you get these weird overlays of the different stories. It's kind of fun.
It actually wasn't on
that. Is great. And then here are the images, the board right here, so you can take a look at it about the how to reach it. Multi interactive right here.
Yeah.
I'm walking to an area, and then the sound comes on about.
I spent a lot of time with her towards the end of her life.
I have a couple of them streaming right now, but that's what it is. I mean, I see this as like almost these types of things is the museums of the future. Right now when I go into an international museum or a museum where they're not speaking my native tongue, where they do have pretty much earbuds you plug in and they tell you about the art in your native language, in your native tongue. Now you can just do this stuff right at home from the comforts of your own home here. This is awesome stuff. Gregory Eddie Jones, anything else from the PhotoVerso side of things? I mean, this is awesome stuff. I love who you had coming on here. I don't even care if the person to the right of you on the screen, you're sharing the same house with right there, because that we're trying to get everyone involved in this.
Yeah, I'm just thrilled to have both Steph and Akutia on, because as I mentioned before, I think both of them are really working with photography in a way that feels very native to Web3. And I think that kind of practice is very rare to this point. I think we'll see more photographers making work specifically for the blockchain, but it hasn't quite happened yet, and so I think both of these artists are making really special work.
Well, about it, they're teaching others. That's the important thing. There's an educational realm on this. And then based on that, there's a historical realm too, where people will see who kind of started this stuff. I mean, there's going to be there's going to be chapters in this history book, and there's going to be chapters for people who are innovative and ahead of the game. And when we're able to bring new forms and formats into a traditional Web 2.0, now Web 3.0 space. NFT author right here. My daughter is 4. So far, we've only cut her bangs so far. So it does relate. It does relate to not only to me, but other people, because those are milestones in life that you always want to remember. And you always were going to remember back to it. But then, when little Jimmy, Janie, Muhammad, whoever it may be, your little ones come out and they say, hey, what happened to X, Y, and Z in my life? Hey, look at Web 3.0, look at blockchain, look what we did. And they're gonna be like, hey, you're kind of like the people who sat in their garages who made Apple computer before Apple computers were there. Like, yep, and we documented it too. And that's the important thing in all this, and I love it. PhotoVerso, we're gonna be back, and let's just try to do this every 2 weeks. Let's just double back every 2 weeks. Thank you for the people you presented. It's awesome. If you guys got to go and enjoy the weekend, awesome. If you just want to, whatever you guys want to do, that's on you guys. But I'm gonna pivot and pivot over to here. Sirhat has been on a couple times as well. He is one that's trying to bring in other members from the international community. Him and Mark are back on again with a host of awesome NFT artists. Sirhat, how are we doing back at it again, my friend?
Hello, CryptoNovo. It's so nice to be with you again. We are very happy.
Yeah, how it works for the people who are kind of tuning in for the first time. I'm trying to get as many artists and people out there as possible. It doesn't matter photography. It doesn't matter if it's computer-based or AR filters. And one of those things is trying to find the leaders in the space, the ones that are getting the communities together. And I found a large contingent, not only from India, but then also Turkey, where they have artists that not only want to be seen, but they have put years of work in, and they need to be seen because their stuff is super cool, very inventive. So right here, I'm on Serhat's Linktree, where you can get into his personal stuff as well. We've touched base with him prior. I want to have him kind of showcase and show off some of his friends in this NFT space. So, Serhat, who do you want to start off with today, my friend?
Just a little update about me and Mirkan. Then we will introduce our other friends. Mirkan is doing great nowadays. He did a great sell 2 days ago. His largest amount of sale. He sold out his foundation collection, and now he's preparing a new collection to list on OpenSea. First of all, I want to congratulate him for his great success on foundation.
That's awesome. Nice stuff. And we kind of see it. You kind of see the writing on the wall with these things and who's following, who your friends are, and where you've been. So, I mean, right now we're seeing the progression in that space where, things are selling, things are moving, last sold. Look at this smile. That hard work is paying off, and that's what it's about. And there it again, just like we spoke with some of our other speakers in the group today, it's about the hard work. It's about putting the time in. It's about finding what is working in this space. And you're finding those niches, and you're being successful at that. So congratulations on that. I want to keep seeing you push on through. Right here, you can see on Linktree, he has his Linktree linked up. So you guys can go there and to see all the things. And that's one thing I noticed about the artists that are coming on. I don't know who's teaching everyone this, but each one of them has a Linktree. It leads them to a foundation site, leads them to the Twitter handle, OpenSea if they have it, and IG, which most of them have. And that's a very important tool, is teaching artists the proper way of getting displayed. You see his photos right here. You see his Linktree. You see his foundation link. That's how it should be set up, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, aliens, apes, and zombies.
Mirkan, sen zaten anlamışsındır söylemek istedikleriniz. İlave senin söylemek istediğin şeyler varsa ben çevireyim KlycDnz'e.
Abi şunu söylemek istiyorum. Kendisine teşekkür ederim. Foundation'daki eserlerimi tükettim ve bugün de bir sanatçı arkadaşıma destek olmak için bir eser satın aldım. Onun da postu hemen Twitter'ımda var. Yakın zamanda OpenSea'de yeni bir koleksiyon çıkacağım. Koleksiyonun linkini de WhatsApp'tan attım. Ona atma şansın olursa onu göstermek istiyorum ben.
Tamam. KlycDnz, first of all, he want to say thank you to you. And he is very happy because of his last sold out. And he wants to give back to community again because he's a good member of community. And today he bought from one of photographers an NFT. He said that he is the time to give back to community.
And that's what we see that a lot in this space, and I'm glad you're mentioning that, because a good friend back in the day, still a good friend to this date, Justin Aversano, he invests back into the community very much, so that what's happening here is finding another artist to bring in. Oh, sorry, what is that sound here? Sorry about that. If someone tried to call me on Discord, I gotta get a link turned off here. Sorry about that. My Discord is still turned on, so that was the link there. Someone trying to get a hold of me on Discord. That's what it is, giving back to that community and giving back and cycling it through, giving back to the other artists in the community. So tassel hat off to you. I love seeing that, where you're able to, get another member piece in your wallet. And that's what it's about, is showing that off with other members in the community. That is sweet. That is awesome.
Yes, absolutely. I also want to say congratulations to Mirkan for his support to community. He's a good member of our community.
And we got to keep supporting each other in this community, because that's what it is. It does take a community. It is a community effort. And everyone that you're seeing here today, on the show, is being part of that community in a different capacity. We have, people who are helping me set up and, set up getting people on the show. We have people that are helping translate. You know, all these things add up to the larger picture of community, and it is a community effort. So thank you for what you're doing and bringing to that community. Thank you for giving back to the community, and it shows your true heart, you know. And I know that you're trying to make ends meet, and I know that you're trying to get bills paid, because we all are. But having that olive branch and extending it to someone else shows the range and shows the love towards others in this space.
Yes. Now we want to continue with our friends. We want to introduce our Turkish photographer friends. Today we have very talented and well-known Turkish photographers. And we want to start with Kanipola. And just a small addition, after introducing our friends, me and Mirkan want to show our latest photos, latest collection, if we have time. But first of all, we want to introduce our friends. And Kani, floor is yours. You are welcome.
Hi. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hello. I just want to say I'm so happy to be among these wonderful artists and photographers here, especially Ava and Stephanie. They've introduced themselves in a different way. So in Web3, I think we will have a lot of improvement, and it's perfect. It's very inspiring. I really thank both of them. And Mirkan and Serhat, these are my friends, and they are really good photographers. So I just want to introduce myself. I'm new in NFT photography platform. Since approximately 2.5 months I'm here, but I do photography since approximately 20 years. I'm a professional photographer, for instance, but I was also a professional guide. So I traveled a lot in my country, and one of the places that I really enjoyed is Cappadocia in my country. I don't know if you heard about Cappadocia. The translation in Persian language, it is the land of beautiful horses. So because of that reason, as a first collection of myself, I just would like to introduce myself with this collection. Also, beside the meaning as a name of this area, there is an important meaning of these horses in my feelings also. These are semi-wild horses, and they are normally living in the mountains. And the villagers who are using them, they bring them back to the villages, and then they use them in summertime. But after that, in winter, they leave them again on the mountains. So they have to survive there. They have to live 6 months approximately in the mountains. Not all of them doing this, but majority is this way. So I just would like to go and see them. In the beginning, I didn't want to use these horses just for these kind of commercial reasons. But when I've been there, I really had a very good contact with them. So if in the beginning, I had a few times just to be there and to understand them. And they have body language, which is really interesting. And they can understand you. They can talk to you. And so I just felt first. And then I've been in the field with them. And they're really incredible animals. They were in some places, they were running through me, and they were not touching me even. They were just passing through me, and they are that kind of noble and elegant animals. So I was really influenced by their noblesse. So as a first collection, I just would like to introduce myself with these beautiful horses. They are called yılkı horses. Yılkı in Turkish, it means free horse. So as you can understand from the name, they are normally free horses, but they are collected by villages just to work with them. This is
in the states where I live. there's an area called the Outer Banks. It's in like the North Carolina area on the East Coast, and they have wild Mustangs there. And it's the same thing where they're horses that have never really had that much, interaction as far as domesticating them, the right word. And right here, I'm seeing that where the countrymen are using the horses for probably their 9-to-5 jobs during the summertime for agriculture, for traveling distances, and then they're releasing them into the mountains so that they can pretty much survive the winter on their own natural accords. And one thing that I've learned from a lot of people from this region, and talking from NFT photographers from your Turkish background, it's not easy to get to these places. It's not like you just like get out of the car and walk through your back door neighbor's fence and you're right here. You have to travel. You have to go there. You have to understand the culture. And Jayden brought up a very good point where he almost has he understands the horses and the horses understand him. There's a following behind that, not only with I call them cowboys that are riding the horses, but the countrymen that are riding them, and how the horses actually turn into part of the community. So when he does go back there and revisit them, he might recognize them by, their stature amongst the other horses, their colts or their ponies there. And then also, the markings that, they do have on their, as far as their coloring patterns are.
Yeah. I will say that the locals, they can recognize the horses by their colors. They have 4 different colors, and then they name them with their colors even. So most of them they were wild, and the Turkish government they've just collected them from the mountains, and some of them they've given to the villages. And so that was the main reason. That was my emotions when I was there, which helped me to create this collection. As you say, yeah,
it's absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely cool to see. There's other photographs. You want to take a look at other photographs on his Instagram page as well. A lot of sceneries, a lot of big mountains, a lot of big mountain ranges. Is it safe to say that this is pretty much like backyard for you? I mean, is this like stuff that you've?
I wouldn't say backyard. It's not totally backyard. So I didn't talk too much about my travels, but as a travel guide, I've been traveling in my country, but also in many different countries. So some of the pictures that you see in my Instagram pages, they are just a collection of my pictures from different countries. This one that you show, it's from Italy. So I've been to Norway, to Czech Republic, Italy, France, Poland, and many different countries just for the purpose of making landscape photos.
And when I mean backyard, yes, that is backyard for you, because I don't need to travel across the pond to see these images, because you're capturing them there for not only me, but for people who want to view these and enjoy these things. He has his own website right there. If you need it, click on it. You got it right there. So you can go online learning, tours and workshops, home. He has traveled. He does know the world. And he's continuing the love and the passion that he's done for many, many years. We got blog articles here on his website. Oh, I got to get a bigger page here. Sorry about that. Blog articles here on his website. Make sure you're tuning in. Plug into these people, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, these are the people who are formatting the ways of the world right now in this NFT landscape, as you're seeing, and travel photography. And it doesn't always have to be attached to the blockchain. This is a photography community that has a lot of NFT members in it. Anything else that you want to talk about before we transition into another photographer here, my friend?
I just would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really happy to be among these wonderful artists. And I just would like to thank you for all of this. Thank you so much.
Please don't thank me. Honestly, what I did is I made breakfast for my kids. They got up early. They had a sleepover. I was able to walk downstairs because awesome people like PhotoVerso, Serhat, Markkinen were able to get awesome photographers like you, ladies and gentlemen, on. So like I'm able to double dip. I'm able to come here and learn from you guys, spread the word for you guys, because I have people helping me. That's what it's about. I don't do this myself. I have people helping me, and I want to make sure it's known that I have people helping me, because I got here because people helped me, and I want to help other people get to where they want to go from helping them as well. So with that, Serhat, what do we got next here, man? You're getting the accolades. You're getting you're getting your friends thanking you. Who do we want to pivot to here next?
Our next guest is Deniz. She's also a very talented woman photographer from Turkey. She don't speak in English. I'll try to help her translation. And please forgive me for any mistake, for mistranslating anything. I'm not a professional translator, nor I am using a perfect English. So I just try to help her.
Hey, I can't even do the English language properly, and that's my native tongue. But one thing I do know about all of this is the NFTs is the international language right there. So we don't need to worry about much.
Yes, absolutely.
Talking about what we love and our passion right here. If she wants to speak in her native tongue, I'm all about it. You can translate when you want and just tell me what to click on, my friend. I'm ready for the show to begin.
Okay, thanks. Deniz, sıra sende. Kısaca kendini tanıtıp işlerinden bahsedebilirsin.
Tamam, herkese merhaba diyorum buradan. Şu anda kamera problemim var. Neden kaynaklandığını anlayamıyorum açık. O yüzden özür diliyorum herkesten.
Tamam, ben kısaca çevireyim. Kısa cümleler halinde.
Tamam. Aynen kısa devam
cümleler
edelim
halinde çevireyim.
Tamam.
First of all, she wants to say hello to everyone, and she say thank you for inviting her. She has a problem with her camera, so she cannot share her video. She apologized for that.
She doesn't need to apologize because we're looking at her lovely photography right here. So there's nothing to to apologize at all, because we're looking at what we need to see right here. It's beautiful.
Okay, Deniz, devam edebilirsin.
Tamam. Öncelikle bugün burada olduğum için çok mutluyum. Bu organizasyonu yapan sevgili Serhat sana ve KlycDnz'e çok teşekkür ediyorum.
She also want to say thank you to me and Birkan and to KlycDnz for inviting her to let her to be with all other friends.
Ben İstanbul'dan Deniz Kalaycı, engelli çocukların öğretmeniyim. Aynı zamanda yarı zamanlı fotoğrafçılık yapıyorum.
She says I'm a photographer from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm a teacher of disabled children, and I'm also a part-time photographer.
12 yıldır fotoğraf çekiyorum. Kendi engelli öğrencilerimi topluma kazandırmak ve farkındalık yaratmak için birçok fotoğraf projesinin içerisinde bulundum.
I have been taking photographs for 12 years. I'm a teacher of disabled child. I want to create awareness about those children, and therefore I'm creating a project with those children.
Ve 2019
Dennis, I was a teacher before too. I was a teacher up until about 8 or 9 months ago, where NFTs have changed everything, and I'm able to teach in a different capacity.
Dennis,
go ahead. You can
sorry KlycDnz. Deniz kendisinin de NFT'den önce bir öğretmen olduğunu söylüyor.
Öyle mi?
NFT'nin onun hayatında da büyük değişikliklere neden olduğunu söyledi.
Evet, ben şimdi fotoğrafla engelli çocukların hayatına dokunmaya çalışıyorum. Onları topluma kazandırmak için hani bu toplumda var olduklarını diğer insanlara biraz daha göstermek için uğraşıyorum açıkçası fotoğrafın. Çünkü güçlü bir etkisi olduğuna inanıyorum.
She says that she wants to meet her students with society because her students are disabled children. She wants to create an awareness about them, about their problems, and to meet them with the society.
And that's part of it, is we got to make sure that all my aliens, apes, and zombies are taken care of here. It doesn't matter if you have a disability, a hindrance, anything. Maybe it's just a learning impediment that you need to do. and it's helping everyone, bringing awareness to it. And then obviously within NFTs, there is a sense of income where you can maybe get some funding going in the proper direction because people want to collect cool things and see cool things and help others. And she's trying to make the awareness for her own students that might have a disability, might have something that slows them down. But you know what? It only slows them down maybe physically, but there's multi-talented people out there, and they can, you know, have many means of exploring ways of getting by in life. And I love what she's doing here, trying to create that awareness of it. So thank you. A little bit about your photos here. You know, what's the inspiration behind it?
Deniz, bu yaptığın şeyler için, gösterdiğin çaba için sana teşekkür etti. Takdir ediyor seni.
Tamam.
Fotoğrafların arkasındaki, yani senin ilham aldığın şey nedir? Seni fotoğrafa yönelten şey nedir? Onu biraz konuşmak istiyorum.
Tamam, ben fotoğrafların arkasındaki duyguya bakıyorum. Yani fotoğraflarımda duyguya çok önem veriyorum. Belki teknik açıdan çok fazla dikkat etmiyor olabilirim ama karşıdaki insana verdiğim duygu benim için çok önemli.
Sorry, I have a problem with my battery. Kani abi, sen rica etsem devam edebilir misin ben şarjı halledinceye kadar?
Evet, tamam.
Lütfen.
So KlycDnz, I will just translate it instead of Serhat. He has got problem with the battery of his mobile phone. So what Deniz was saying, that I just pay more attention to translate my feelings with my photos. Yes, that's it. Sorry.
And that's the thing, is like having those feelings being translated into the photo sense that we're seeing right here. You know, if the COVID and I don't know if this is a mosque or a religious institution, I'm just guessing here. But you know, like what it is, what it looks like, where it is spacing and spreading people out and, you know, saying kind of what's happening in the world at that particular time. You know, just like we talked about photos in the past, you know, it's photos of the future that will show what happens in the past. And there is life in the streets, and we are seeing this. And, you know, just the simple image of what's happening with this young gentleman's, you know, day right here.
Deniz KlycDnz diyor ki bunu hissedebiliyorum diyor. Duyguların çok önemli diyor. Burada bir şey yapman, bize geçirmen. Bunu diyor gelecekte de diyor, geçmişteki bu fotoğraflarla diyor biz bunları hatırlayacağız diyor.
Evet.
Ve bu hayattan bu fotoğraflarının da büyük bir önemi olduğunu söylüyor.
Evet. Teşekkür ediyorum. O duyguyu geçirebiliyorsam karşı tarafa ne mutlu bana.
So KlycDnz, she's saying that she's really so happy if she can be able to translate her feelings to yourself. So this is what she says.
Biraz OpenSea üzerindeki COVID in the World'den bahsetmek istiyorum ve Foundation üzerindeki yine pandemi fotoğrafımdan bahsetmek istiyorum.
So she wants to talk about her OpenSea collection and her big pictures on Foundation as well.
All right.
Evet, devam edebilirsin Deniz.
Tamam, 2019 yılında COVID-19 salgınıyla beraber pandemi fotoğrafları çekmeye başladım ve birçok pandemi hikayesi oluşturdum.
So she began to make photos of COVID in 2009, and she has prepared a lot of collection with the pandemic stories.
OpenSea üzerindeki ilk koleksiyonum olan COVID-19 in the World koleksiyonumdan şu an sadece bir tane eserim kaldı. Geri kalan hepsi bir gecede tükendi.
So the first collection she's listed on OpenSea. There is only one picture left, and all the others she was able to sell in the first night.
Şu anda en özel ve en çok ödül alan pandemi fotoğrafım Foundation üzerinde.
So the photo that was awarded the most was, for instance, on Foundation.
Bu sarılma fotoğrafım ulusal ve uluslararası alanda birçok ödül aldı.
And this photo was awarded in many countries, in many platforms in the world.
Hem benim hayatımda bir dönüm noktası olduğu için hem de tarihi bir belge niteliği taşıdığı için çok önemli bir fotoğraf benim için.
So it was a turning point in her life, and it was an important. This we are talking about this photo, and it was also an important point photo for her. So this is really important for her to show this picture.
You know, we've seen it.
Pandemiyle
We saw it with
Pardon.
Martin's photo of the tea leaves, the tea fields, you know, in his hometown, and same thing from here, where you do have your signature piece. And we're seeing it right here, where she is trying to help her students with the hands on eyes, hands on ears, hands on mouth that we, you know, historically have seen through all. And every child is special.
Evet, bu gözlerinde, ağzında, bu ellerini koyarak vermek istediğiniz şeyi anlıyorum diyor. Devam edebilirsin.
Tamam. Bu yine pandemi fotoğrafından devam ediyorum. Bu özel çocuklardan devam etmiyorum. Pandemiyle
Tamam.
birlikte hayatımıza birçok alanda değişik kavramlar girdi. Maske, mesafe kuralı gibi. Salgın yayılmasıyla birlikte evlerimize kapandık.
She was saying that with the COVID, we have different things we had in our life, like the mask and the distance between individuals, and we had to stay at home.
KlycDnz, I sent the photo to private chat. That photo she is talking about. Can you
Thank
click
you.
on the link private chat?
Yes, and I've seen this photo before. I didn't know where it was. Yes, I saw this photo before. Let's see if we can get it up.
Serhat, you can continue if you like. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for helping me. Deniz bu fotoğrafı daha önce gördüğünü söylüyor.
Öyle mi? Çok sevindim görülmesine.
She is very happy.
I would say so.
Devam edeyim mi ben?
Evet, devam et sen.
Tamam. Bu fotoğrafta pandemi salgını nedeniyle birbirini aylarca göremeyen bir anneanne ve torunun hikayesi var.
This is a story of a grandmother and his grandson that due to the pandemics they couldn't see each other for months.
Kendi sağlıkları için ve toplumun sağlığı için birbirinden aylarca uzak kaldılar. Ve daha sonra bu kurulan plastik platformla birlikte birbirlerine kavuştular.
They couldn't see each other for a few months, but thanks to this plastic platform they established, they meet with each other and hug themselves.
Çok duygusal anlar yaşandı.
That was a very emotional moment.
Aralarındaki naylon perdeye rağmen birbirlerine dakikalarca sarıldılar.
Against this nylon curtain between them, they hugged each other for minutes.
Bu kareyi çekmek benim için çok zordu çünkü çok duygusal anlar yaşandı. Ama bu kareye sahip olduğum için ve bu tarihi ana tanıklık ettiğim için çok mutluyum.
Actually, this was a very hard moment and a very emotional moment. It was very hard to take this photo, but since this was a very special photo for me and that document these hard times, this is a very important photo for me, and I am happy to take that photo.
Umarım daha fazla insana ulaşabilirim bu fotoğrafla.
I hope I can reach to many people by this photo.
Evet, teşekkür ediyorum Serhat. Nova'ya da çok teşekkür ediyorum.
She wants to say thank you to both us and KlycDnz.
Sormak istediği bir şey varsa buradayım.
If you have any question, it will be a pleasure for her to answer.
Yes. I mean, was this a moment that you saw them approaching each other before the picture, or is this something that you just took after you saw them embrace? Like, was there a lead up to this? Like, I can just see grandson running up there and seeing grandma, and then they just said that, you know what, screw this plastic, we're still hugging each other.
Can you please repeat it? I couldn't hear you
No problem.
exactly.
Was she able to see the lead up to this photo? Like, were they like running towards the vinyl frog, or was this something she came across, like they were already embraced?
Tam anlayamadım. Kani abi duyabildin mi?
Efendim, tabii söyleyeyim. Diyor ki KlycDnz, bunların onların birbirine koşarak sarıldıklarını mı hissettin, yoksa nasıl hissettin? O anı nasıl yakaladın diyor. O durumu nasıl görelim?
Şöyle, o platform orada kurulmuştu. Orası açık bir alan, yani bir bahçe gibi bir yerdi. Bu platformun arkasından anneanne ve torun birbirlerine yaklaşarak sarıldılar. Yani herhangi bir koşma yoktu. Çocuklar bu taraftaydı. Çünkü orada 2 çocuk daha vardı. Onların da fotoğrafları var. Diğer tarafta da anneanne ve dede vardı. Ama en çok etkili olan ve en çok duygusal anı yaşandığı kare buydu.
Continue, Serhat. You heard probably. So KlycDnz, what she was saying, that there was a platform there, and on the one side of the platform there were parents, and on the other side the children. So they were already there. They were hugging themselves just in these moments. So they didn't run or they didn't make any special movement, but there was already a platform already presented there.
Think of that. Just everyone put yourself in that position. You have grandma, grandpa on one side of a plastic fence, grandkids on the other side, and they can just look at each other. It's crazy, man, what we all went through. It's crazy what we all went through. And this is just signifies what life was like at that point in time for people. And sometimes it is like that still to this date, you know. I love this. This is awesome. I want to get on to our other 2 artists. You know, Dennis, this is awesome. And this is a statement piece. And this is like, this photograph tells what the heck has been happening in our world and society, where we want to be embraced, we want to be hugged, but we have to live with a layer of protection in between us, because we don't know what's happening at all times. I couldn't even think of this 10, 20 years ago. And now you look at this picture and it's almost graphic in a sense, where it just relates so much and so many things. And the bottom line of it is just hugging and being there for each other is what I get out of it. And that's why I'm glad I'm here with you guys. I want to say what's up to JRS1. Thank you. Not KRS1, but JRS1 for listening. Black Mambu, I love the Afro droids that you have. You're sporting there in your Twitch PFP as well. Who do you want to move on to next? We got 2 left here, my friends. Who should we go on to next?
First of all, let me translate your last verse to Deniz.
For sure. And then she can wrap up. And then also have her wrap up too. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Yes, those were important words. So I went to translate for her. Deniz bunların çok bu fotoğrafın çok yalnız bir fotoğraf olduğunu söyledi. Yani geçmişe dönüp baktığımızda ileride bize çok şey hatırlatacak bir fotoğraf olduğunu, bu yüzden çok değerli olduğunu söyledi. Teşekkür etti sana.
Ben de teşekkür ediyorum hepinize. Sağ olun, iyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar. We can continue with SavasSener. SavasSener.
Yeah.
What's up, my friend? How are you?
How are you? Thank you. I'm fine. And you, all of you?
I'm doing very well. You know, I'm a big fan of cryptodes. We have some toads, some frogs behind you, some amphibians behind you. I was looking at your work prior as well, and just what you're trying to accomplish in this space. I'm ready to rock and roll. I know you're ready to rock and roll. Let's start talking about what we have going on here, my friend.
Okay. Let me talk about myself and my art first, very shortly. My name is SavasSener. I am 57 years old from Turkey. I'm first main nature photographer, especially macro photographs. I love to tell visual stories by using microphotographs, just like the tales of La Fontaine, as you remember from our childhood. Now the world has already changed, and we need some new stories. My task here to introduce these animals with you in a memorable way, to draw your attention. And here starlings are also changed: frogs, chameleons, ladybugs, or snails. I also try to give serious messages, such in the subtext of these stories, such as why stop immediately environmental pollution or global warming or climate change. In short, sustainable living for all of us, for the humans and the others. Let's show some works starting from the macro collections from OpenSea. The first one is Pepe the Real Flock. Consists of total 12 real Pepe photographs, including 2 small funny series. In the first series, the collection, the series of name of the series is Pepe. Meet Tarzan, Eugene. It's a funny story. Here, Pepe is hero frog, plays role of Tarzan, who protects his jungle against human or us, being by sewing him AI way. Here, in one sense, he is a fearless hunter or a romantic boy. In another sense, he is picking up flowers for his lover Jane. Sometimes I also touch on political issues such as the New World Order, human rights and freedoms, by using, again, micro photographs. The story is Shut Up. It's about a dictator who puts political pressure on pure citizens. The story is occurring in one of the unknown countries, but we all know them very well. Starlings are the dictatorial chameleon and the again, pure citizen frog. Here also some, in this collection, some pose of Pepe's. Angry Pepe, curious Pepe, again Hunter Pepe, maybe handsome Pepe. This is an angry Pepe.
I love how you're able to like give each one of these like a name based on like their face and their attitude of what's going on right here. That's awesome. You know, creating a little narrative behind what's going on there. It's like, hey, why are you taking a picture of me? Well, you know, go take a picture of someone else.
This is a tree frog I took in Mersin. I'm making composition in their living habitat. I'm connecting a setup for him, for their life, and try to take photographs from in my mind. This is curious, Pepe.
What's up?
Use photographic. Sorry.
I said, "What's up, Curious Pepe?" He's looking through, like he's like coming in to see what's going on. What's up? I like it. How long does it take you to set up one of these photos and get this thing? How long does it take to get one of these photos taken? I mean, it seems like it takes some time to find these and find these creatures, and two, getting the right angle, the right light. Does it take a long? Does it take a long time?
Before taking photograph, I plan to take a sense. Sorry, I understand. I couldn't hear your question.
Not a problem. how long does it
which,
take? How long does it take to get these into photograph form as far as getting the picture lined up for what you want to get? Like the snails and stuff. How long does it take to for these things to get to the area where you want to get a good picture of them? Like you have to. There's a lot of setup.
Ben tercüme edeyim mi sana Savaş?
lütfen. Soruyu tam anlayamadım.
Bir de
diyor ki-
Kani abi birinin mikrofonu açık kalmış da böyle bir tabak sesleri falan geliyor mutfakta galiba. Ona da dikkat edelim abi. Teşekkürler.
Tamam. Savaş diyor ki böyle bir fotoğrafı çekmek için ne kadar zamana ve ne kadar bu kurguya ihtiyacın var bunları bu şekle getirebilmek için.
Okay. Before taking any of this photograph, first I plan to take what kind of photograph or what should be the sense of these photographs. There is a thought in my mind first, and then after a long observation, I try to take this photograph according to the opinion or sense in my mind. It takes sometimes a day or maybe maybe in just a week. Several times I try to take, and then stop just until in my mind is okay.
We call that mental reps, where you're taking mental reps, where you're going through the images in your head prior to taking the photographs. Because I would see at this picture that I'm looking at right here, it would take forever to see a frog either slide down that or hop up there to get the sweet, sweet nectar it's trying to achieve, or getting closer to the insects that it's trying to have for a meal. The time it takes is awesome for this, because when you're dealing with wildlife, you never know what you're going to get. It's not like talking to a human where you say, hey, smile. You have to get the image right, And I saw one of your images here with a insect right in front of the frog. That is just sweet.
It's just a decision, moment of decision.
And you have to be ready for it. And the focus needs to be right. And the colors needs to be right. And the angle needs to be right. So for people watching at home, it's like, oh, this is just a picture. I can do that with my phone. No, you can't. And you're seeing that, the very NFT photographers on our show today, they have to set up time on it. If it's mental repetitions, meaning you have to go through the image in your head before taking the picture. If it's traveling all the way out to find the Mustangs or the horses of that particular region. If it's going out and, finding the shepherds that are walking the sheep up into the fields so they can get, the nutrients that they need so they have wool to create cormorants around, the Turkish lifestyle, whatever it may be, we're seeing it over and on and on. So for you saying that you've been in the field for 50 plus years, you've done your time in there, you know what's going on, and you have the means of getting these awesome images onto the blockchain for everyone to see. And that's what I love about it. Tell everyone about how they can get to your photos and, any good links that they can click on. So we have your foundation. We have your foundation right here, which will bring you.
There's so many 4 works on foundation. But before foundation, I want to mention about my other photos, different from the micro photographs. 2 collections, similar collections. One is blacksmithing, and the second one casting works. Both of them is a series of intense labor and valuable sweet photographs.
And these photographs tell a story.
Yeah,
just like
this belongs to blacksmith series.
And then this blacksmith series is like this. It shows the hard work of what it comes to create a product, where these people are in warm situations, trying to, carve out basic needs for necessity of where to work around, and the hard work that is put into it, and the blue collar effort it takes to, get the right angles for, I don't know if this is to scrape hay and bale hay, bale hay right here. We're seeing, man, look at that. Focus, determination, sweat, hard work.
I want to show the viewers, first of all, the strong expressions of the worker or blacksmith. That's why the moment of view or shooting angle is too important for this kind of photographs, but it's also very dangerous, because the work is dangerous for both for worker and to the photographer.
Yeah, because look at this. He's dealing with molten hot stuff right here.
Yeah.
He's chiseling it with a hammer. And I've seen my fair share of stuff being built in my life. So hot molten stuff is fractioning off and launching all over the place when you're hammering it. Because this is metal, and when those shards of metal get hammered, they fraction off just like metal splinters. So imagine being around that, not only as working with your hands as he's doing bare hands, which is freaking crazy, but then also being the photographer that's right there trying to get that image, and he's trying to get it at the right angle. So it is a practical use right there. So there is, there's not only hard work by the photographer in this, but also the person, making it as well. And here's casting works as well. There again, very blue collar mentality on it. We're showing, just like, man, people got to go do work, and it's not the cleanest jobs all the time, and it's not maybe the healthiest conditions, and it's, these gentlemen look like it looks like they worked their tails off. That's all I have to say. I got a pretty easy job where and you can see the soot on the walls.
Taken after long working, hard working, after very hard working, it's very tired. They are very tired and hungry, of course. This is from casting.
This stuff is done by hand. It's not like, oh, you're going to go have this stuff pressed and minted in a machine, have a machine do it. I mean, look how dangerous that is. And that is molten hot sparks coming out at them.
Yeah.
He's not even using gloves. This guy's crazy. I have a lot more mad respect for what you guys are put through, not only all over the world. Thank you very much. We have one more artist.
Working place are very traditional method, using very traditional methods, not modern technology. Because of this traditional using of traditional methods, many workers are injured or died because of the many accidents. Unfortunately, modern technology can enter some places like this. It's just, I'm sure no government officials know these places, and no one did control the working methods. It's poor condition situation.
It is, like, we can see it right here where there is no air regulations. I mean, that's not a cloud they're sitting in there. That's stuff that's burning. There's no unions like we have in the US where you can kind of go complain to someone that working conditions are poor. They're doing this to get by. They're doing this to sell their crafts so they can afford food. I mean, heck, looks like he's lighting how to mold something, or how to what do they call it, weld something right there with just a cigarette. I mean, just the culture behind it is just awesome to see. You can't see it. These pictures aren't taken
in this picture
every single day.
Yeah. In the picture, this guy is lighting his cigarette with a molten iron, and it's very normal for them but it's too dangerous place. Working hard is too dangerous. It's a problematic place. These are not smoke only. Most of them are steam because of the wet interaction or contact of the molten iron with the wet sands. It produce or result in huge amount of steam. The distance of weaving or the sink distance is becomes too long. It's also extra problem for the working place or working conditions. It's a very problematic places or works because of the traditional method. The name of this piece is Inferno. I feel to be in the Inferno with him. It's a terrible place, terrible conditions.
You keep bringing the pictures out there so people can see it and then support others that are in the space. That's important, not only through the working conditions aspect of things, but also for the things that you're providing with nature, which I'm a big fan of. Thank you very much. I love this. This is awesome stuff. As you can see right here, the ones that are being sold out. Another thing that this community is doing is where they're presenting their pieces and showing that they are sold out, which I love. So please, continue doing that and supporting others. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anything else for the good of the order?
Okay.
Everything right here. He's got a nice link tree right here. You can click on his link tree to get where you need to be. And it is just cool stuff that you're bringing into light for everyone.
Okay. Lastly, I'm happy and honored within these amazing artists like Serhat Eve. I listened to great projects from her. It was amazing. It was great. Thank you for for giving opportunity to describe ourselves, our artworks. Thank you.
You don't need to thank me. Thank you for making awesome content for me, and people want to see this stuff. I want to see this stuff. I'm a first fan. I can't travel the world. I can't see all these things. You guys are bringing it to me, and let's bring in another artist here. Let's see what we got. We got one more on tap here.
Yes, our last guest is Sefa, a young talented Turkish photographer also. Sefa, seni dinleyebiliriz. Hoş geldin sen de.
Thank you for hanging out this long with us on this wonderful day. How are we doing? Get a mic check.
Teşekkür ediyor. Nasıl olduğunu soruyor.
We're gonna get his mic situated here.
Sefa, sesin gelmiyor.
We probably drained his battery. He's probably been listening.
Mikrofonunu aç Sefa abi.
He has a problem with his microphone. Just a second.
Cool, not a problem. We can get it figured out. No rush.
Okay.
We got it Sunday morning here in the States right here. It's turning into a little bit Sunday evening. Maybe the sun's going down if you're visiting us from our friends in Turkey right there, or international. Big international show today. We had tons of awesome guests on. We're gonna pummel through them real quick shortly here, so that until we get the volume set up. If not, maybe try logging out and logging back in. Sometimes that just reestablishes the sound communication. But we started off earlier today with Eddie Jones NFT and PhotoVerso, where he was able to bring in Mint Behold the Ocean, which was awesome, with Avery. And then Stephanie came on and talked about how her NFTs are coming to life, just with an Echo Tombs, where you're actually able to have your NFTs, and have a little tidbit about that NFT, where she used her own photography in the black room, which wasn't even a black room, and was exposing it to light. Sound check. How are we doing? We good yet?
Sefa, sesimiz geliyor mu? Bizi duyuyor musun? Konuşabilirsen biz de seni. Sesin gelmiyor hala.
Mikrofonu açsana abi. Mikrofonu açık mı Sefa abi? Mikrofon butonuna basar mısın?
Let's see, we can try. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna send him.
Sefa abi biz şey yapalım ya, senin yerine senin koleksiyonu Serhat abi biz şey yapalım abi.
Tamam.
Sefa abinin sesinde problem var. Ben fotoğraflarını biliyorum hepsini, ben anlatırım en kötü.
He has a problem with his microphone, so we can talk in behalf of him.
Sure. If not, another chance you can do is he can maybe go on Spaces and talk through Spaces, because we are linked onto Spaces, so he can maybe mute here and go on his phone through Spaces and maybe talk as Spaces. I can invite him up as a speaker on Spaces. But if not, you guys can talk through it right now until we get sound lined up.
We can, me and Mirkan can tell about his works, because we also we know his works. We can talk
Beautiful.
about. Yes. Mirkan, nereden başlayalım?
Abi OpenSea koleksiyonundan başlayalım.
Could you please open his OpenSea account?
You got it.
Hadi Sefa abi bir konuşsana, sesin geliyor mu? Yok, Sefa abi gelmiyor, ben yerine.
Sen devam et Mirkan.
Şimdi öncelikle şunu söyleyelim abi. Sefa abinin Tuz Gölü, Türkiye'de çok meşhur bir göl var. Bu gölle ilgili bir serisi var ve bu serisi ondan sonra çok özel bir seri.
He has a collection about the Lake Tuz, one of the second biggest lake of Turkey.
Çok ünlü bir göl olan bu gölde birçok yurt içinden ve yurt dışından insanlar bu gölde gelerek fotoğraf çekiyorlar ve aynı zamanda abi insanların sürekli ziyaret ettiği bir bölge burası.
This lake is one of the best travel destination and photography destination of Turkey.
It looks absolutely beautiful. I wish I was there right now.
Yes, this is a very beautiful place, especially during the sunset. And this photo was taken at the sunset time.
Yani insanlar özellikle buraya gün batımında fotoğraf çekmek için ve o gün batımındaki güzel manzarayı izlemek için burayı seyahat ediyorlar. Aynı zamanda Türkiye'de çok popüler bir yer olan Kapadokya'nın da yol güzergahı üzerinde olduğu için ciddi anlamda böyle bir ziyaret alıyor.
This place is also close to Cappadocia, one of the most important travel destination, tourism destination of Turkey. So since it's close to that region, many people go to that region to take photos to watch the sunset.
I'm seeing like a lot, like the sand there is a very different color than I'm normally used to be seeing. Unfortunately, a lot of the sand I'm around is polluted because we're in Chicago and people don't clean up after themselves. But what I'm seeing here is just like a beautiful, like salmon colored pink with, the awesome blue background. A little bit about just the coloring aspect as it comes up in natural coloring.
This lake is, we call it Lake Tuz. Tuz means salt, because people gather salt from that lake. So also many different kind of algs are living in that region. So due to them, sometimes the color of the lake changes to different colors like pink or red. And this is on the route of the birds. They migrate to that lake, live during the spring and summer at that lake.
And it's just, it seems like you can get a different color palette every time you go out there. Like right here,
yes.
Like, even like the sky changes colors with the clouds, and then the sand and the water changes colors. And you're even saying like sometimes it's a little bit more pink, a little bit more red, and it's probably the angle of the light and sun. So I mean, this is a destination that be very inspiring because it's almost a kaleidoscope of colors where it changes every time you go there.
Not just because of the light conditions, but also because of the microorganisms that live in that lake. So when the population of the microorganisms increases, then the color of that lake changes. So you can get many different colors, a large color scale when we are taking photos at during the different times of the year.
That's awesome. And it is based on the biology that is in the lake. One thing that people don't often know is that flamingos, the reason they're pink is they eat krill, the small yellow like shrimp-like material that are very pink in taste, and then that color gets digested into them and gives them that color. So like the organisms in there does give things different colors within that water. And we had Ava on earlier today that was talking about that same aspect, is the world and the earth as we know it is a living and breathing organism, and we're all in it together. So the nutrients that are in the water, feed the fish, that, feed the people, that, maybe use that to grab salts for making whatever they need to make.
Yes, and Sefa traveled to this region many times. He took photos during his different travels. So he has a good collection of photos that document that lake.
Abi
and the
Sefa
life
benim
around
bir
that
de
lake.
karma bir koleksiyonu var. Koleksiyonlar kısmında onu da açabilir miyiz? Oraya da ilgili bilgi verin.
Koleksiyonlar dediğin hangi şeyde? OpenSea'de mi, Foundation'da mı?
OpenSea'de.
He also a mixed collection in OpenSea. Buradaki tüm fotoğraflar burada zaten Mihkan.
Evet.
Bunların
Burada da
hangilerini
abi mesela farklı hava olaylarını ve birçok farklı yerlerde çekmiş olduğu fotoğraflara yer verdi burada Sefa. Ondan sonra yani buradaki fotoğraflar da gerçekten çok özel ve güzel fotoğraflar yani. Çok anlamlı, çok güzel temaları işlediği bir seri var orada karışık koleksiyonda da.
In his other collection, he took many different types of photographs from his travel all around the Turkey. Actually, the ones that, yes, these ones he took at the sunset. He traveled around to Turkey, and those photos, one of the cities, an industrialized city of Turkey, and when the factories are working, they have smokes on their on the sky. So he photographed that region during the sunset. He mostly likes to take photos during the sunset and sunrise.
And that's where you get some of their best angles and best shots, is when those colors are coming up. I love seeing that. I love seeing it like rolling off there. I always just see like hard work out of you guys. Like I see cold, frigid conditions, maybe not the best working conditions, out in the natural elements, like right here. I mean, you're up within the clouds, and it just goes on and on with every single one of these photos. Absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, and elevation too is key on all these, where it's not just ground level, where there is getting up before the sun rises to get this angle and getting those mental reps in, as I said before, where you're trying to see what's going to be going on before it actually happens. So when it does happen, you have your camera there to, get that photo digested and in there and in the proper way.
Yes, he's a
anything else?
He's a good traveler, and you can see his travel photos, both in his Instagram account, Twitter account, and OpenSea account.
Abi bir de şunu belirtmek istiyorum. Sefa abi kendi bölgesinde yaşadığı şehri gerçekten fotoğraflarıyla dünyaya tanıtan bir fotoğrafçı. Aynı zamanda kendi yaşadığı şehirde de bir fotoğraf derneğinin başkanı. Bunu da ekstra belirtelim. Bir de Sefa abinin sesinden olmada problem yoktu. Kendisi şu an diyor ki hani kusura bakmayın diyor. Nova'dan özür diliyor abi, hani diyor bağlantı sorunundan dolayı.
Tamam. He apologized because of that voice problem, because of the problem in his microphone. Yes, he apologized for that.
No problem. Actually, my sound just cut out right there for the last second. It happens. You don't have to be sorry about jack squat, man. We're here presenting it. We have his own .com page right here, StephanieVance.com.ir. And you can see it right there. Photography, videos, NFTs. You got it. It's right there for what you need it for, and that's what he's trying to do, is bring others into the space show off his photography that you guys are seeing. And you can hit that up on OpenSea. But all of our guests, they have done a great job of getting their link tree on there, their OpenSea account, their foundation link on there. It just shows the strength of the community, led by, the people who are helping me in this. And I greatly appreciate that. Sir Markin, anything else before we round out the show tonight?
Mirkan, son olarak söylemek istediğin bir şey var mı? Sana ve bana soruyor burada.
Yani yakın zamanda yeni bir koleksiyonumu çıkacağım. Onu bir dahaki programlarda tanıtmak isterim. Hani bugün yeterince şey yaptık abi.
Tamam.
Bir sonraki programda yeni koleksiyonumun şeyini yapmak isterim. Tanıtımını yapmak isterim.
Tamam. He's preparing for his new collection that he will mint on OpenSea. He hopes to show you at our next meeting his new collection.
Hey, let's do it. You guys know it. We're gonna revisit in like 2 weeks, and we'll just do this again. We'll try to have this bi-weekly. We'll do it every 2 weeks. We'll do it in the morning so we can get all my international friends, so I don't have to wake them up at 5 and 6 in the morning. But that's awesome, and I really appreciate you guys bringing in the speakers today, because it's just awesome stuff for all the aliens, apes, and zombies out there, because it teaches others of who want to get in this space what to do. And then also people who are the collectors of who to follow in this space, which is important, because you need followers too. We can't just have everyone out there making things. We need some people to be doing some purchasing, and we're seeing that organic growth here. We're able to support one artist, and he's out and he's buying things of other artists, and that's what we're trying to do in this.
As the last word, I would like to briefly talk about my newest collection, just for a few minutes, if it's possible.
You're totally entitled to that. Heck yeah.
Okay, I have just minted a new collection on Foundation about the colorful life in Turkey. This is my new collection, Colorful Life. Those are the colorful photos from all around the Turkey. Canola fields from Tekirdağ, and beautiful balloons from beautiful Cappadocia, and one of the most beautiful part of the Turkey, the lavender fields in Isparta and Burdur. I brought all of those photos in a collection as the colorful life, colorful scans from Turkey. And
I love it.
Yes, please.
I love it. When you come back on 2 weeks, let's go into further detail on this, because I love the colors. I love the lights. And that's what it is, the progression. In the last 2 weeks I talked to you, you guys are putting more stuff out there. And that's what's important. You guys are striving to stay ahead of the game, staying in the game, which you guys are, because of how many people talk about you guys. Not only on my own personal on my own personal Discord, but just the accolades that you get from your fellow NFT photographers here today. But not only that, but the people who are tuning in on the side. NFT author right here, amazing stuff. Tons of people are chiming in on this. This is slowly turning into one of my better shows that I produce, and I don't have to do anything, because you guys are actually doing the executive producing behind the scenes. All I have to do is come out here, play, ask a couple questions, and look at cool things.
Thank you so much, KryptoNova, for having us again, and let us to bring our friends. We hope to be with you again next week with some international friends, not just this time, not just with Turkish friends, also some friends, all our NFT photographers all over the world.
That's right. And I don't care if they're from the Turkey, whoever they reaches out to, because sometimes it's the people who are the hard workers who are being vocal. They're the ones that get on, and that's the honest, we can't go out there and pull people to come on here. So, tassel hats off for you gentlemen on this panel and the ladies that joined us earlier to get everyone's voice out there. And I don't care what regions it's from, as long as we're all here to have fun. And speaking of having fun, what I do is I have tons of fun in the Novo booth right here. I'm having these filters come out crazy style. So the filters are coming out more and more, as we can see, because people want them. People want to use these filters. People want to get these filters out there. And the filters are being used to promote their own product. Very similar to this big tassel hat head that you're seeing here. I'm trying to get these NFT, these out to people so then they can make a name for themselves. So you want to make a name for yourself right there. You can join that Novoverse right there. There's a lower right. So request a filter so you can get an NFT of your filter, AR filter of that. I have Instagram as well. If you guys ever want to join in and join me on Instagram, not as cool as the photographers that we've had in the space, but I try to get content out there as best as I can to the people in the space. And a lot of the people I take pictures with, the selfies, those are the OGs that got me this far. So it's just a favor. If you did miss any of this content, I'm on Twitch right here. You can watch it. I'm on YouTube, which you can watch live as well. But with that being said, I got some more sounds. And we're about to close this out for all my aliens, apes, and zombies. And that's going to be it. So for everyone watching at home, we're going to be back with this same panel in 2 weeks. But thank you very much for joining. This is Crypto Novo saying stay positive and love. Peace.